Welcome to Simply Happy, a show where you'll be learning how to shift to a more positive perspective in easy-to-manage steps. Who am I? My name's Olivia. I'm a mother, a wife, the driven woman behind SimplyOli.com, and someone who ditched depression and bipolar disorder through mastering my mindset and emotions. So let's chat about some tips that have helped transform my life, because life doesn't need to look perfect to be happy. Hey there, what's up, and welcome back to another episode of Simply Happy. It's your girl, your mental health guru, Olivia from SimplyOli.com. Yeah, I think I'm going to start talking myself up at the beginning of these. Let's have fun with this. Anyway, welcome back to the show. I'm so excited to chat with you today. I want to share with you actually a little self-love hack that you may not have realized. I think that would be fun. Before we dive in though, I do want to encourage you, pause this episode if you feel like it. Take 3 to 5 minutes of your day and leave a review not only on this podcast if you dig it, if you like it, but also on all the other podcasts that you've been listening to. Show some support for everybody that you tune into, that floods into your ears, because I'm pretty sure if you're listening to me, then there's other podcasters you're listening to as well. So take some time, leave everybody a review, and if you're not on like iTunes or something, send them a message and tell them how much their show means to you. I bet they would appreciate it. That's my little PSA for a minute. But let's go ahead and dive into that self-love hack that I was chatting about, which is basically, are you ready for this? I mean, you already saw in the title. It's not really a surprise, but it's complimenting others. Yes, it's complimenting others. And so how in the friggin' world is this a self-love hack? Because it doesn't involve you, it involves other people, right? What? How does that make sense, Olivia? It does. Trust me. So I talk a lot to my clients in Simply Empowered. I talk a lot on social media about this. But I talk a lot about changing your language, and I've talked about it on the show before, and how important it is that if you are using negative language or down-putting language, just any kind of words, whether it's out loud, like verbally, or in your head, so you're thinking it all the time, whether, things like, I'm fat, I'm never going to make it, I'm worthless, XYZ, those are extremes, but you get what I'm saying. If you're using language that's got negative connotations, right? I talk about changing that a lot, how to rewrite that, how to redirect that. Now, that might be a little tough for you. It's hard sometimes to change our language when we're talking to ourselves or about ourselves, because there's a heavy emotional attachment with that, right? Like, obviously, we know ourselves pretty well. We spend a lot of time together with our own minds. So it might be harder to rewrite that language, get through that barrier, and really feel like you mean it. So instead of saying, like, I hate my guts, saying, I really love and appreciate myself. That's a hard jump to make. It was for me. When I was dealing with depression, it was a really, really hard jump to make. So that's why this is a little hack, this complimenting others thing that I have talked about. It's a hack because basically what it's going to do is get you in the practice mode, right, of using positive language towards somebody that you're not necessarily heavily emotionally attached to. So what you're doing is you're programming your brain to use that language and make that a regular part of your day, a regular part of your language. So when you do that, it starts to make the shift within yourself easier because that language is already familiar. It's not so foreign because you've been practicing it on other people. And whether you do this out loud, which, obviously I encourage you to. I feel like you should walk up to somebody, tell them a compliment, tell them their hair looks great, or do it mentally, right? Great way to do this. Sounds so creepy. I'm going to sound like the worst. People watch. Go to a mall. Go to a park. Go on a bus. I don't know. Go somewhere where there's a lot of individuals and watch them. I used to be the biggest judger. I was the worst. And it was all mentally. No, it was not all mentally. I was rude verbally, but a good majority of the time it was mental. So I would see somebody who, maybe their shorts were a bit short and their butt was hanging out, or their shirt was low, or something was tight, or their hair was different than I would do it, right? All of these things, I would immediately start judging that person and putting them down and be like, oh my gosh, why would they wear that? Nobody should have let them out in public wearing that outfit. They look like a slut or whatever. I would think of the worst things and I would go on a rampage in my own mind, right? Who is this serving? Seriously. But I would go on a rampage in my own mind, and all I was doing was instilling negative language in myself so that if I could do it to others, I could easily do it to myself. And if I could easily do it to myself, I could easily do it to others, right? It's a circle. So now when I see somebody rocking that same attire, I might have a moment where I look at them and I go, whoa. But then I take a second, I take a breath, and I go, good on them that they have the confidence to go out and rock that outfit. They must feel really good about themselves, right? Like, that's a way to just bring the positive language. Like, just having compassion and empathy and talking people up, all of those things. You do it for other people, it makes it easier for you to start to do it for yourself. So that's the hack. If you have ever had struggles with positive talking directed at yourself, telling yourself you love yourself, or complimenting the way you look, think about the things that you normally tear down in yourself and start complimenting other people on those specific things. Get your mind used to the language. It's that simple. It's going to take repetition, it's going to take practice, but keep at it, and then apply that to yourself. And you can really start raising that self-love bar, and it's really incredible. So that's my little hack for you today. I hope that helps. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you share it on social media. I hope you leave a review and maybe even take some time to check out SimplyOli.com. But that's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for listening. I love you so much. As always, you keep staying simply awesome. I'll keep staying Simply Oli, and we'll chat with you on the next pod. Bye.